Hello there, welcome everybody. It's Diorama Don here. This is well, it's a level crossing, as you can see. Again, it's just a different idea for showing off a military vehicle. I've put the Sherman in there just to show. Well, I'll take it off, then you can see it a bit better. But a bombed out part of the railway and a bombed house there. So just an idea for a different subject of diorama. So I will carry on with this video and I'll show you how exactly I went about making it. So I've used train lines before in dioramas. I made a train station diorama and a tank crossing some train lines. But as someone pointed out in the comments, it's not 1/35 scale, which I knew it wasn't. It's certainly not HO or 00 scale. It's bigger than that, but nowhere near big enough for 1/35 scale, which is how I normally work. So what I've had to, it's only a plastic toy thing anyway. So I've had to cut away all the sleepers to be left with just the rails. So I want rails going across there like so. And looking at the gauge of train lines in France in the 1940s, I worked out by dividing by 35 that it's 41 millimeters. The gauge is 41 millimeters, which is the distance between those two lines there. So it's quite a difference, as you can see. It's anyway, 41 millimeters. So because I've cut it all up, I need to make my own sleepers. So we've got sleepers either side of the level crossing there, and then we'll have the rails going like that. But then we're going to have to fill in the gap here somehow. I'm not really sure how. Something like that, and then two pieces either side like that, and then when I put my road in, it will be on a slight incline either side. Okay, so I'll have to boost these pieces here like that, and that should give me then the right shape of the diorama. And I've cut a piece of polystyrene that will do as my base. So basically they're the bits and pieces to make up the diorama. It's there'll be a building here, the guy that raises and lowers the barrier, his house is there, and then there'll be two barriers either side there. But basically this is the shape of the diorama as it will be. So I'll go ahead and stick together what I can, although it's getting to be a little bit complicated around here, and even more so when I want a bomb crate. I want a big hole there as well. So I'll try and sort all that out, and I'll be back in a moment to show you how I got on. Okay, so I stuck all my bits together. Got my rails in, sprayed them silver and stuck them down onto the sleepers. So we've got a flat area level with the rails there, and then a slight incline on either side of the rails there. So now I've shutted it off, if you like, and I can put my cobbled area on both sides of the rails there. I shall use my usual method of grey grout. I've done it a number of times in other videos, so I'll go ahead and put my road in. Then I've got my bits and pieces of the building that will be there, slightly bombed out there, and the other two sides there. So I'll put my building together and my road in, and then all I've got to do is put the two barriers then either side of the rail track. I'll put my bomb crater in as well with the broken rail. So it's all going very well, actually. Better than I expected. It sounded complicated to start with, but it's all worked out very well. So I'll put my road in, put my building together, and come back, and we'll see what it looks like then. So just a quick update then. I've put my cobbled road in. As I've shown you on previous videos how I do that with grey tile grout. But I've never actually shown you what I do after about 3 hours. After an hour or so, you can mark out the cobbles, which I've done there. But then give it another couple of hours, and then you can start to shape each cobble. So I've done that side, and you can see that they're more sort of rounded than square. So I've got this side to do, but all I do is just to draw a circle around each cobble like that, and it gets out all the rubble in between the, can you see, in between the cobbles there. It takes a bit of time, but that's what modelling's about. So I'm rounding them off, just taking that square off, and I'll go through all that, and it will end up then looking a lot nicer than that, as that. When that's dried probably overnight, then I'll put like a mortar between the bricks, as I normally do. So that will be my cobbled road. As for the building, I've just put the 4 sides together. Bit of a strange shape, because it is a strange shape on there. I put 3/4 polystyrene to give the thickness of the walls, and just gouged it out to show the broken wall. So that will go there, like that. Are we seeing this? The train line, I'll paint the sleepers black, and then put like a gravel, or whatever they call it, ballast in between. So that won't be a problem. That should look like a rail line then. And as for the barriers, looking on Google, asking for photographs of 1940s French level crossing gates, it's asking a bit much, really. But there are a few photos, and every one, of course, different. But there was a photo of this type of barrier like this, rather than it being a large diameter piece of wood or whatever they used. There was a couple of barriers this shape. So I've encased the end in cardboard, which will denote the counterweight, and then just made these little boxes that will where are we? They'll sit like that. Okay, so when they're painted black on the end, and then all of this white, and then some red stripes in between, they should look okay, I think. On that side, on that side. So that will give me my my level crossing. So, a few things to do. Got to wait for things to dry, and I'll do a bit more and come back. So this is where we're at the moment. My road all dried out now. I filled in the gaps with a lighter coloured grout, which looks ridiculous, I know, but when I put a black wash over the top, it will bring out the cobbles and darken the inside there, so not too worried about that. The train lines, I just put some well, sand really. What do you call it? Sifted some sand. So I was just left with the bigger pieces, and used that as the the stuff between railway lines. Is that ballast? I don't know. Anyway, that's in there. That's finished. The house, that's got all the broken wall there with the dried grout that I used, the light coloured and grey grout, to depict the broken walls. That will go there. That will also need a black wash to age it as well. As regard the barriers, I don't think I mentioned the sizes. I just cut a piece of 2mm card, 3/8 of an inch one end down to 3/16 of an inch the other end, and then just put some fins in between to hold it all together. Pieces of card on the end for counterweight, and they will go either side there. I don't know whether to have them up or down. I'm not sure. We'll see. So it's basically all finished, but I just need to age it now and put more rubble around the bomb crater. So I'll go ahead, finish it off, and I'll be back in just a moment. So went ahead and finished the project. A lot of black washing to darken all the buildings and the road. The cobbled road turned out okay. All I did was just put a black wash over the top and just a little bit of colouring on a few of the stones, that's all. So that's that. A project like this would probably be very useful if you had one of those airbrush kits, but I tend to use just an ordinary aerosol, a black aerosol can spray, but from a great distance and only just a very fine mist of paint, not directly onto it like you would get there, just from a distance and a very fine spray, and you can darken things quite nicely, which I've done on the building there. I've decided on one barrier up and one broken barrier this side, and just put a little bit more of broken debris all around the bomb crater there. So that's basically it. Again, darkened the area of train line with black aerosol spray, just to darken it down and not make it look quite so new looking. Okay, so that's it. So we can either have the half track coming across there. Doesn't look too bad. I wouldn't put the tiger on. I haven't left enough room for the tiger. It's too damn big. But the Sherman looks okay there. I think I'll leave that on. So again, it's just an idea. I don't know if there are resin kits that depict a level crossing like this, but regardless, it's so easy to do. Cardboard and polystyrene, that's all I've used, nothing else. Grout, I use a lot of grout, as you know if you've seen previous videos, but cardboard and polystyrene, that's all you need. Anyway, I'll leave you to it. See if you can come up with something similar, or probably better, and I'll leave you now, and I'll see you in the next video. But please subscribe to the channel. There are lots of ideas. Okay, you might not like the diorama, the way I've done it, the way I've made it or whatever, but it's the idea that I'm trying to put across. This is my version of the idea. You could take the idea and create your own diorama. So I'll leave you with it. Please subscribe, as I've said. I'll see you in the next video, and in the meantime, as always, I wish you happy modelling.